Oh, Mr. Alderman Felix. Yeah, here he comes. Former Mayor Motley, when the time comes, could you lead us in the pledge, please? When the time comes, could you lead us in the pledge? Thank you, former Mayor Motley. The time has come for the Monday, August 18th, 2025, regular city council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Mayor Cunningham. You have a quorum, sir.
Vacation will be Pastor Luke from Christian Neighborhood Church. Immediately following the invocation, former Mayor Motley will lead us in the pledge.
Let us pray. Gracious, loving God, we praise you. We thank you for the gift of life and of life together in this city we love. Today, Lord, we ask for your blessing on Waukegan and on this gathering. We praise you for every resident of Waukegan, all image bearers of you. We pray that you will uphold and guide our city officials. We ask that you bless them with wisdom as they make decisions. We pray, God, that you will guide the proceedings of this meeting. May your will be done. May you be honored. And may Waukegan be a place in which all have ample support to flourish. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Luke. And Pastor Luke, you have the boys with you. Hi, guys. How you doing? Thank you, former Mayor Motley of City of Waukegan. Thank you for your presence today, sir. Item C, Mayor's comments. Water main breaks. I'd like to give a great job to the crews at Waukegan Public Works for staying on top of the water main breaks that's been happening throughout our community. For those who know what is a water main break, simply means there's sometimes a 3-inch, probably about a 6-inch, 8-inch. I think the last one on 120 was a 10-inch line that basically broke in half, and which caused a lot of water coming out of the ground on 120 midday. It may seem like it's pretty easy, but that becomes a very difficult challenge for our Public Works Department. Sometimes they have to locate actually where the break is at before they start digging. So to Chris, Alonzo, kudos to your teams, and their specialized staff members perform their duties in very extreme and dangerous circumstances, and I want to be sure to recognize their professionalism and reliability. And with that being said, whenever you see our Public Works teams or any construction team performing work on our streets, more specifically your major arteries, 120, Washington, Grant Avenue, Green Bay, everybody, slow down. Slow down. I personally stop out whenever I see this and just, you know, I told them they would have called me, I would have had my boots and I'd help them out, but I just didn't have my work clothes that day. But I've noticed that, you know, those lanes are really tight. We have to be very courteous as to what they're trying to do. Slow those cars down, please. Yeah, thank you. Lead lines. Lead service lines open house that was held on August 7th was one of the most successful turnouts for the project-specific event to date. Approximately 25 to 30 residents attended, including a few who are not directly part of the project area, but express appreciation for the opportunity to learn more and have their questions and concerns addressed. If I'm not mistaken, that was the 4th Ward and the 6th Ward resident. Is that correct? Okay. City staff representatives from 5 Star Energy. 5 Star Energy is the actual contractor who is performing one of the contractors performing the lead line service replacement, and Robinson Engineering were actively engaged in assisting in attendees. Support include helping residents to locate their properties on the project map, provide information tailored to both included and non-included households, conducting scratch test demonstrations, and delivering a presentation featuring video examples of the replacement process. So to everybody involved, I think, Alex, a great job to you and the rest of our engineering team for that project presentation. Waukegan Dunes and North Beach Access Project. We should be very excited about that one. Waukegan Dunes and North Beach Access Project Public Open House. Please join us on Wednesday, August 20th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Dunes Plaza in the center of the North Beach parking lot at Waukegan Municipal Beach, 201 East Seahorse Drive. Just in case anyone want to know the address, I know most of us don't, because we just know it as the Waukegan Beach. But yes, this Wednesday, August the 20th, from 5 to 7 p.m., there will be plans for the projects include new walking trails, boardwalks, an ADA accessible viewing platform overlooking the wetlands in Lake Michigan. The design aims to protect our unique dune habitat while improving access and creating opportunities, recreation, and education. View design plans, learn about the project features and benefits, meet the project team, and share your feedback. Your input will help guide the future of our Waukegan Beach. Stop by to explore the vision and be part of the conversation on this exciting lakefront improvement.
Is that going to be at the beach or is that going to be here?
At the beach. It'll be down there by, we call it the Dunes Plaza, but what did we used to call that? Band shell. The old, for those from Waukegan, it's the old band shell.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not dating myself either. "100 days ago, I was humbled to once again take the oath of office as the mayor of Waukegan. On that day, I made a promise to the people of Waukegan. We will rebuild our city together. I was not just referring to roads and bridges and sidewalks. I was truly referring to rebuild the pride of this city. Tonight, we will be hearing presentations that will serve as a kickoff of the Rebuild Waukegan campaign and learn more about some of the projects on the horizon. I've been getting some good feedback on this Rebuild Waukegan, and I'm excited. I'm excited for our partners. I'm excited for staff. I'm excited for this, for our leadership team legislatively. But I'm more excited for what is to come for this city because we deserve it. Yes, there's going to be some disagreements. And there's supposed to be for true progress to stand. But those disagreements are meant to sit down, talk, discuss, agree to disagree, but move on with the progress of rebuilding this incredible city. The Waukegan that I know, I love. No regrets. I grew up loving exactly what I put in and what was given to me. But tomorrow's Waukegan must be for my children, grandchildren, and your children and grandchildren. Some of them are not going to come back for the love of it. They're going to come back for quality education, good, safe neighborhoods, nice employment opportunities. That's what they're going to, because that's what they want. If we do not rebuild the Waukegan for today and the future, we have competition. That competition happens to be Gurnee, Highwood, Libertyville, Buffalo Grove, and all the rest of the cities that exist in this county. I just believe, I truly believe that our city is the best city to live, work, and play. Now, we got to prove it. So thank you for the opportunity. Now let's get the job done. And to start that off, I am going to ask that all of us come together and celebrate 84 years of faith-based service to the Waukegan community, to the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. And we have a, come on. Yeah, and we stand up, New Hope, stand up, and Pastor, you and the whole team, if you want to, or you can come in, and we'll give you our special recognition. We do this for your long-term service to our community. Oh, I know you want the mic. Hold on a second. You can use this one, Pastor. You're used to this kind of mic.
Well, New Hope, I say to God be the glory. And when I say that, you all know what I mean. To God be the glory for this great honor and recognition from the city of Waukegan, Mayor Cunningham, the board of city council, and to all the elected officials, and to all of New Hope, First Lady Katherine Johnson right there. She's right there, and certainly want to recognize her. She was a teacher a few years back, and she was one of her students a few years back. Amen. 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 Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, 404 South Buttrick Street, Waukegan, Illinois, 60085. We really thank you and the city of Waukegan, the elected officials, and the administration for this great honor tonight. And I really want to thank New Hope for coming out and sharing this occasion with us. Pastor Barbara Brown from Trinity AM in church coming to share this moment with us. Also, Senator Adrian Johnson coming out to share this moment with us. Thank you so much, and we certainly appreciate it. And we're not a selfish church. We don't mind sharing Jesus with anybody. And to add on to that, I know that there are other churches in this community, and I accept this award not only for New Hope, but for them as well for the services that they provide.
So on behalf of the mayor's office, the alderman, the city clerk, and treasurer, and all the citizens of Waukegan, we say thank you for your 84 years of service to our community. And here is this special recognition on behalf of the city of Waukegan. Here we go. Now we got to take the picture.
Thank you, City Council. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 2, resolutions, proclamation, presentations, and appointments. 2A, resolution 25-R-216, recognizing 35th anniversary of the sister city relationship between the city of Waukegan and the city of Miyazaki, Japan. All right, I'll clap it up. Let's get a motion by Alderman Hayes. And second? Aye. Second by Alderman Guzman. Are there any questions to the motion? Any questions? Somebody say yes. Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. All right. Madam Clerk, you want to read the resolution?
I'd love to. Thank you. 25R2116, resolution recognizing the 35th anniversary of the sister city relationship between the city of Waukegan and the city of Miyazaki. Whereas the city of Waukegan, Illinois, USA, and the city of Miyazaki, Japan, formally established their sister city relationship in 1990, joining together in a spirit of friendship, cultural exchange, and mutual respect. And whereas this enduring partnership has, over the past 35 years, fostered international goodwill through educational exchanges, cultural programs, business connections, and personal relationships that have enriched the lives of residents in both communities. And whereas the Sister City relationship has provided opportunities for students, artists, civic leaders, and community members to learn from one another, share traditions, and deepen their understanding of diverse cultures. And whereas through this bond, Waukegan and Miyazaki have demonstrated the power of citizen diplomacy in promoting peace, cooperation, and global awareness. And whereas the 35th anniversary of this relationship serves as a milestone to reflect on past achievements and renew our commitment to continued collaboration and friendship in the years ahead. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Sam Cunningham and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby recognize and celebrate the 35th anniversary of its sister city relationship with the city of Miyazaki, Japan, honoring the shared history, cultural exchange, and friendship that have strengthened both communities. And be it further resolved that the city of Waukegan expresses its deep appreciation to all citizens, organizations, and leaders, past and present, who have contributed to the success of this partnership and look forward to many more years of mutual learning, respect, and cooperation, adopted this 18th day of August, 2025. Sir? And
Yes. This is the delegation. Some of them, not everyone. Not all of them. All right. Come on. And I've asked our former mayor, last mayor to go to Japan on behalf of the city of Waukegan. And from our State Department, I'm going to say that, our state senator is also here to welcome you all along with our aldermen. So come on in, come on. Any of our host families here tonight? Oh, there it is, our host families. All right, here we go. So I'm going to say right here, there we go. On behalf of the mayor's office, the aldermen, our city clerk and city treasurer, and the citizens of Waukegan, we not only welcome you, but we thank you for this long-term relationship, and we look forward that we continue this to bridge the gap. And sometimes it's not always the national leaders, it's sometimes the local leaders, because it's always felt on the local level when those decisions are not made correctly on behalf of our citizens that we represent. So thank you and welcome to the city of Waukegan.
Probably want to say. Picture time? Austin? And then they have a few words too.
She's emotional right now, but and she is because she was the first person who started this back in 1990 of our sister city. So that's why, for coming.
皆様こんばんは。この度は和木岩市と宮崎市の姉妹都市盟約35周年という記念の年に、宮崎市の中学生訪問団を温かく歓迎していただきましてありがとうございます。昨日から10人の中学生と5人の引率者で訪問しています。
Good evening, everyone. I would like to express my deepest appreciation for extending a warm welcome to our junior high school student delegation in this commemorative year, the 35th anniversary of the Sister City Agreement between Waukegan and Miyazaki City. And starting yesterday, 10 junior high students and 5 chaperones are currently
今回の交流が双方の友好の新たな絆となり、両氏の末永い友好関係をさらに強めるものと確信しております。今後もこのような機会を通じて、和木岩市と宮崎市が友好の絆を絶やすことなく、両氏の交流を続けていきたいと考えております。本日はこのような機会をいただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。
I am confident that this exchange will form a new bond of friendship between us. For this opportunity today.
Thank you. Let's see the Kiyotake town, and thank you. Kiyotake town, that was the former, the Kiyotake really town, was the one government. And we decided to be merged to Miyazaki City about 15 years ago. But we started this project 35 years ago, and we, and not me, David, or the former the workers over the Waukegan City that started 35 years ago, but 36 years ago. So we have been in this project, and the youth, Waukegan City people, citizens, have been our heart all the time for over 36 years. So we've been the friends, we've been the same team for over the 36 plus years. Thank you very much. And we have been hosting your great students. And I've been very thankful to you to host our students. You know, the education takes a long time to see the result from the beginning. But let's be the patient. And let's be the patient to our younger children. And this year, we have brought this over 17 years ago. And the last time, 17 years ago, my daughter was only 13, and she was the last delegation. And now she's in the 30 years old. Yes, and she always talks to me. That's that the Waukegan is my second home. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to take this.
Yes. All right. Well, that was exciting, huh? Yeah. All right. All right. 2B, part of our presentations, presentation of fiscal 25 road program. We're going to ask 26, 26 road program. We're going to ask that our director, Chris Garland, step up and give us some couple of remarks.
All right, good evening. evening, City Council, Mayor, and everyone. Tonight, we're going to share some things with you guys in regards to the road program that has already started and ended, and the one that's about to begin within the next couple of weeks. All right. Our Public Works Department has just wrapped up the 2024-2025 fiscal year road program. We are now moving into our 2025-2026 fiscal year road program. With your approval, various roads, curbs, gutters, and ADA ramps throughout every ward will have repairs done. Examples of what is to come: 6th Street. 6th Street will be a part of our complete street program. What is a complete street? Complete streets are defined as ones that provide safe and convenient access for all users of the road, including pedestrians, bicyclists, transit users, and vehicle traffic. Complete streets also better accommodate the needs of people who use assistive devices such as canes, walkers, and wheelchairs. All right, 6th Street between Elmwood and Fulton will have the following: new curbs added, new gutters added, new sidewalks added, and new ADA. As many of you know, if you live over there in that area, there is no curb, there is no sidewalks in that area, so a part of our complete street, we will add those items in to that particular street. All right. We also want you guys to keep in mind that we are doing lead service lines being replaced. So throughout different parts of the city, throughout different parts of the wards. Those streets will be done first. All right. So also keep in mind, some wards may have more streets than others. Why is that? Because of lead service. All right. So the mayor have inputted to us that those roads get done first. All right, the lead service roads. So I got a slide here that I want to show you guys of the things that already been done and stuff that are coming up. All right, project scope. As you guys know, you could go onto the city's website and you will be able to pull this up and under the engineers department, and you will see the different things that are going on within the Public Works Department. As you pull it up, you'll see, here's the first ward. These are the streets that are being done, that are going to be done in the first ward. You got McAllister, you got Lennox, you got Helmholtz, and it states from where to where. You got Martin Luther King, and Helmholtz the 10th. So those are just a few of them for right now. All right. Second ward, you have Fulton Avenue, Washington to Dodge, and then, like I just mentioned, 6th Street. Then on there, you can see the third ward. You got Cornelia Avenue, Metropolitan to the west to the dead end on Cornelia. And then you have Baldwin, Washington Street to Grand Avenue. Fourth ward, you got Jenkinson Court, Buttrick to Lewis. Brookside, you got from Buttrick to Lewis. Jenkinson Court has concrete up in it, so we're having those spots of concrete replaced. So, and you will see that done over on that street as well. Fifth ward, you have Metropolitan Avenue, Cheyenne to Florida. You have New York Street, Glen Flora to Ridgeland. 6th Street, you have Chestnut from Ridgeland to Glen Flora, and you have Ridgeland from North Avenue to County. 7th Ward, you have Sheridan Court, Sheridan Road to the cul-de-sac. When you come in off of Sheridan Road, you take it on around to the cul-de-sac, that'll be done. And you have Stanley from North Avenue to Sheridan Road. Now, as they're doing this, they're going to be doing sidewalks as well. So you'll be seeing that being done as well. 8th Ward, you have Mid Lane Drive, Maple Tree Lane to Mini Drive. So that's over in one of the subdivisions over in the 8th Ward. And then you have the 9th Ward. You have the subdivision. You have Swallowtail Drive from Pleasant Hill Gate to Talcott Drive. You have McGraw Road. That's the entrance to this subdivision off of Old Plain, and it heads east to the dead end. And then you have Tucker Lane from Talcott Drive to West Ave. All right? So again, this is something that you guys can pull up on the city's website. You can see it for yourself and pull up the map. You can hit on the street, and it'll show you the things to come. All right? We're still working on this, so you will see as they continue to process this, you'll see the progress that it's in, where is that proposed, and then as the final completed. All right? Now, I couldn't do this by myself. I have a team that we have put together, which is a part of the Rebuild Waukegan. We have a team that we have put together, but none other than Alonzo Jenkins, without saying, he is a part of this team. All right? So, but I just want to thank Alonzo for all his hard work and everything that he has done for our Public Works Department and all the things that he's going to be doing moving forward. So I just want to thank you right now, brother, as we move forward. Now, the project team that we put together will be reporting to myself, all right? And they will be working under the direction of the project manager, which is Marvin Coleman. So those team members are, like I said, Marvin Coleman, project manager, Antonio Dominguez, the director of water utilities, Alexandria Yulia, the civil engineer. I told them to excuse me if I butcher their name, so they gonna get me, they gonna get me. Eugenio Jasso, civil engineer. Dave Becky, the public works supervisor. Shannon Cisneros, the project coordinator. Jim Wright, the budget coordinator. Yoselin Vasquez, the public relations. She's there? Oh, there she is. She's still working. She's still working. Darren Tufan, special projects analyst. Is Darren here? Blake White, special project analyst. And these two individuals are from the mayor's office, so they'll be working with us as well. And last but not least, our new hiree, Edwin Felipe Posey, transportation project manager. I call him my whiz kid, so he's going to be working with us. So thank you all. Like I said, I couldn't do this by myself. I had to have a team. I thank you all so that we can move forward and do the things that need to be done. All right, are there any questions? No questions?
Right. Any questions? Alderman Guzman.
Actually, Director Garland, I think you did an amazing job in this presentation, and I'm so happy that this is done, so everybody in the city or who watching YouTube, they can understand this. And I think you should do it more often on this, maybe on a yearly basis when these projects come up. And I mean, because that's an amazing, whoever did this website did an amazing job. I mean, your group, I mean, great job, guys. I mean, I think this is very, very informative to show what has been completed and what will complete it. Hey, thumbs up, guys. I mean, you guys are always great. Thank you.
And that is the plan.
Yeah, because that is, whoever thought about that, that's a great idea.
If I could just pick,
Well,
sorry.
I'm gonna go, let me do the, I saw Alderman Florian's hand. I'm gonna go Alderman Florian, Alderman Bolton, then Alderman Martinez, okay? Thank you. Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Mayor. So it's already August 18th. The weather will be turning before too long. How many of these do we think we will get done this season?
All of them. We plan on getting them all done this season.
That's pretty aggressive.
Yes.
Including the lead pipes where they need to be done?
The lead pipes are already done.
Oh, okay.
As far as the 6th Ward goes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
And if I can add before we go on, Alderman Florian, I had asked earlier, lead pipe can be done through the winter months as well. The ones that are right now, those were done, I think, 6 months ago or 4 months ago. So now we come behind. But for the lead pipe, that's going to be continuous. So you're going to see lead pipe bids, estimates and bids come before us throughout the winter months, moving up. So we'll have them ready for fiscal 27, fiscal 27 budget year. So, but it's a great question. Thank you, ma'am. Alderman Bolton, then Alderman Martinez.
Yes, thank you for the list. I validate that point to Alderman Goosen. Great job. It was requested by some of the constituents in the first ward. We know that McAllister between Belvedere and 10th was already paved. The question they were asking, is it going to be repaved?
Not from Belvedere. It's going to go from South Avenue to 10th Street.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, it's gonna, what we're repaving is I think there was a hiccup with the lead lines. I know it was pointed out to me by someone. So all of those lead lines that were where the hiccup was up. When I say the hiccup, we put there was repairs done and something didn't happen correctly. So we had to go back in on an existing paved road. So we're going to go back there, and I think we're 1.5, 2 inches. There's going to be that's just going to be a grind and overlay for that one. So we are going back to correct those. And we've duly noted to the contractor, yes, we've duly noted to the contractor that those issues cannot happen again. If so, they will be held responsible, let's put it that way, or accountable.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Alderman Martinez.
Yeah, I just want to compliment me. Tremendous teamwork. I mean, all summer long, there's always something going on in the 3rd Ward in every street. I mean, you guys truly amazed me, and you guys made me look very good. There were so many projects done from North Greta to Ridgeland to Macquarie. I mean, you guys were really on it, and I felt like such like pride that this was being done. But you know, kudos to each and every one of you guys. You guys done a tremendous. That's why I'm not really complaining. You only gave me 2 streets, but I appreciate all you guys done. So, and I drive around and I pull over and your team, they're always so courteous, you know. And it doesn't matter if it could be 101 degrees outside. You guys are out there. So on behalf of the 3rd Ward and all of my constituents, thank you guys so much, and I fully support you guys. Thank you so much.
And we have the last one, Alderman Felix.
One thing I want to bring up, based on past road programs, when we would do a road, some of my constituents, when I would talk to them, they would get fined for not being able to park where they would usually park. Is that something that is we're communicating with our PD, like, hey, you know, while we're doing work here, let's lay off, you know, with the fines? Is that something that we can at least work on?
Each constituent, each resident will have a letter. And on that letter, it will have numbers at the bottom of it. And one of them is going to be Marvin Coleman. And they can call Marvin, and I will instruct Marvin on what the process and the procedure would be. So just tell them, don't worry about it. Just call the number on the paper.
Perfect. And last thing, I am excited. Part of this Rebuild Waukegan is Washington. Where are we looking at with that?
Hold on, don't answer it yet because we're waiting for the bids to come in. If I'm not mistaken, we should have something to you the first council meeting in September.
Okay.
But let the bids come in. So keep them bids low, y'all, whoever's bidding. All right, but yes, it's there. It's first. Our goal is to have it first September, on the first meeting in September, to have all the bids in. All right?
It's a holiday. Make sure you're here afterwards.
Thank you.
That's it for me.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
I will definitely be here because 2nd Ward is, I think, Washington between Keller and Lewis is the worst.
Yeah, we're on it. Thank you to this team. Marvin? Marvin, the curtains are open now, man. So, Alderman, please feel free to touch base with Marvin, Mr. Marvin Coleman, as being the lead project manager, to get those on-the-street questions answered. Anything else can go from there. Thank you, Chris Alonzo, and your team. Good luck and much success. And by the way, this is going to be the team over the next 5 years for the capital improvement plan, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right, thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate you and your team. It's been a long day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Last but not least, Waukegan Dunes and Beach Access Project. I think Miss May and the tall gentleman. Come, why don't you come on up, Dave, to the mic over here.
Did I see a remote up here?
Who has the remote? Chris, you still have the remote? Chris, you have the remote?
Well, while we wait it out, my name is Dave Kraft. I'm an engineer for Hay & Associates. So we've been working with the city for about a year. Is it on? Can you hear me? All right, I'm loud. So we've been working with the city for a little over a year on the Waukegan Dune and Beach Access Plan. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to the city for the opportunity to work with you on this project. We've been very excited about it, very excited on the progress that will be made on it, including the rebuild. Did we find the remote?
There's no remote.
Oh.
I just tell them to.
Okay, you can advance the slide. Whoever's got something to advance it. So again, just as a little bit of background on the project, I know the mayor mentioned just a little bit ago there's going to be a public meeting. I know there's been a lot of discussion over the years and certainly recently on the project. This project was funded by grant money through the Department of Natural Resources. Our role working with city staff was to look at providing opportunities for access and protection at the beach. So a little bit of background on the site, which I think most of you are aware of. It's a really unique site. It's super high quality and diverse as far as habitat goes, and I'll get into on the next slide a little bit of where that comes from. It's a dynamic system. What we mean by that is it moves. Dunes and swales tend to move. We've got a lot of water that flows through here. I think everyone in the city has been aware of the water level fluctuations in the lake. This has been part of your lakefront planning effort for years. Again, variable water levels we talked about. It's been a large group of strategic partners involved over the years in the harbor area, lakeshore area of Waukegan and up and down the coast. And again, just to reiterate, this effort that we've just undertaken was grant funded through the Department of Natural Resources. Our project goals with this project were really to focus on kind of marrying access to the beach for the community, make this a really tremendous asset for the community, even more so than it is, but also protect those resources that are there. Because there's been a big draw. That's been a big part of bringing people into the community, making people excited about the community. We want to do that in a way that's accessible to all residents. That was a big focal point of this. Long-term resiliency of this project is we have fluctuation in those water levels. As we see the dunes and swales moving a little bit, we want to make sure whatever we do is going to be resilient to that, or we're able to accommodate those things long-term, and then have this continue to be part of the planning process. So through a couple of pictures of our plovers that are out at the beach there. So a lot of people like to go see that stuff, brings a lot of people and money into the community, but also need protection because these are pretty rare resources. So you can go to the next slide if you can. So for those that aren't aware, it's a pretty interesting location. We'll kind of cycle through this. Going to the Lake County website, in 1961, there really wasn't much there. You can kind of see the pier on the south side or the breakwall on the south side. As we progress through these pictures, you'll see this system's actually been created in the last 50 years. So if you can click next, 1993, we've got an extended beach. The dunes and swales are starting to form. If you kind of follow along that little angled pier on the bottom, you'll see how much this is. Click to the next one. 2024, we're all the way to that junction in there. So this is those dunes and swales that have been created. All of that sand is mostly from Illinois Beach State Park, just up the way and up into Wisconsin. Right now, great site, awesome stuff going on, but trails are a little rough to get in there, and people are kind of wandering all over in this site. You can see in the bottom when we started the project, the water levels were still pretty high, which creates some access issues getting between the parking areas and the beach. All of that in these pictures too. There's some really unique and rare plants and animals and birds that like to use these areas. So we want to appreciate them, but also want to kind of create that ability to protect those things. You can go to the next slide. So just a little update on what we've done to date on the project. All of these things are part of our design process. So we've surveyed the site. We've done what's called a wetland delineation, where we figure out where those resources are on the site. We've looked at the geotechnical or the soil piece of it to understand, what we're going to need for foundations in construction. We've gone through a planning effort, with this, working with some of the community groups, a number of community engagement meetings, including another one coming up this Wednesday. We developed what we would call a 60% design for the whole project at this point. 60% design when everyone hears those words shovel ready, for a project to be ready for grant funding, to be ready for funding available. That's usually the threshold we're targeting. That means we've basically got the project design, we know about what it's going to cost, we know what the constraints are going to be, and we're kind of ready to go once funding for construction is there. We've gotten input from a structural engineer at this point. We did actually take the Sandpiper Trail, which is the main trail we're focusing on, all the way to basically ready to design, and we've gotten sign-off from the Corps of Engineers already for that project. Features of this, and I'll get into just a couple quick slides on what we're looking at here at the end, is accessible matted trails. So we want to make some of those trails not just sand. We want to have some matting on there that'll be more accessible for wagons, strollers, wheelchairs, anything that we want to get through the sand, which is obviously difficult to navigate. Crossing those wet areas, we're going to have timber boardwalks, create a nice feature. But also make that access easier, make it more resilient as those water levels fluctuate so we can go over the top. Some of the sand trails we're going to improve, widen a little bit, and just smooth those out. Where you see a lot of trails that aren't tied to the main access routes kind of going through those areas, we're going to close and restore those areas really to keep that focused on how we want people moving from west to east, to the beach, to both protect those resources, but also limit the maintenance cost needs for the city, so that you're not having to maintain a large trail network, that we can restore some of those areas. On the south side of the Dune and Swale, we're going to add some features to that access road to make that a better emergency access if we do need to get ambulances, those kinds of things down there. And then working with Audubon Great Lakes and Lake County Audubon and a bunch of other folks, we're also looking at overlook, for largely birding, but other viewing opportunities and educational signage throughout. So you can go to the next slide. So this is kind of just a very simplistic overall plan of that. The red trails, those are those trails that have kind of developed over time, but were never planned trails. Those we're going to close and restore. The blue are the main trails, that we're going to provide that accessible access through with the mats and boardwalks. Brown is the trails we're going to improve, widen a little bit, make sure they stay maintained. The yellow sections on here represent those boardwalks over the wetlands. And then on the south side, that pink line is that emergency access we're going to create. Then all the way on the upper, bottom left corner here is where that overlook we're targeting with an accessible overlook and educational signage. So I got a few more pictures of what some of this stuff will look like. So you can see some of the boards out there have some of these similar images on, but these are some other projects we've done, and then the top is kind of a rendering of the overlook we're proposing to do. So you're going to have some access features similar to these with these boardwalks through these lakeshore areas on the site. So I think that's kind of the presentation. Right now, the goal is to seek construction funding through the Illinois OSLAD program for this work, so that basically we can move into construction for the project and keep the progress, going on this project. So with that, I'm available for questions.
So we have Alderman Bolton, then Alderman Guzman.
Real
Alderman
quick,
Bolton.
what is your timeline in starting and completing?
Yeah, it's really going to be tied to the grant funding. The grant submittals are due, September, end of September? Yeah, September 30th through the state. Usually they try to announce in January, February. It hasn't been a very reliable timeline for when you find out if you get that funding through the state, but sometime in late winter, early spring is when it's been. At that point, we can kind of figure out what the next steps are. But that was one of the goals of this portion of the project is once that construction funding is known, the project is pretty close to ready to bid at that point, and the permitting is partially in hand, and otherwise it'll be pretty straightforward. So we're pretty far along in that part of the process.
Thank you.
Optimistically, construction would start next year.
Alderman Guzman.
Question was said and answered. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same? Okay. Hold 1 second. Just so we're clear, this boardwalk will have, it will be handicap accessible.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a big focal point of the design. Not only the boardwalk, but a couple of the trails we're going to improve with surfacing over the sand. The nice thing about that surfacing that we're going to use is it rolls out. So as those dunes and swales move around like the wind does, pretty easy to reset them. They're not locked in place, and if you do it once and something happens, you can't adjust it. It'll be very adjustable.
Okay. I know you have a question, but why don't you do this? As he's going to his seat, why don't you ask him that question, and you can get offline, okay? Thank you. All right, any other alderman? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Obviously, thank you to Lisa May and her team, and the other Sam behind you. And we have our dunes. Hello, how are you? You, Carolyn. Thank you for showing. I know you've been a very instrumental part of this, along with Lisa and everybody. So we will. Matter of fact, we have one of our state representatives. Hint, hint. So let's push them along and go from there. Thank you. I know who she is. Thank you. Senator? All right. Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
So we're going to need a motion and a second to support the project. What's the title of the resolution?
Resolution supporting the furtherance of the Waukegan Dunes and Beach Access Project based on plans developed by Hay and Associates, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
There's a first and a second. Any other questions to the motion? Is it a voice count or roll call? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Motion's passed and carried. Thank you very much. Again, thank you. We look forward to this project coming soon. All right. With that being said, item 3, audience time. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead with the audience. Every participant has 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and read the first 6 off. If you go to the east side of the room, line up. Be prepared to take your time and state your name. Jim Domiano, Bobby Garland, Clyde McLemore, Reverend Barbara Brown, Calvin Mathis, and Joe Kopsick. Jim Domiano, Bobby Garland, Clyde McLemore, Reverend Barbara Brown, and Calvin Mathis, and Joe Kopsick. Let me get the timer on for you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Damiano.
And go. I'm trying 10 years working with the city council. And one of the things I realized, I'm a numbers guy in case y'all don't know that. You got too many aldermen. Our ratio is 1 alderman for 9,700 people. Follow the math here for a second, folks. Rockford, Peoria, Joliet, cities smaller but roughly the same size. 1 per 11,000 to 20,000 people. Chicago, 1 for 50,000 people. Chicago has 50 aldermen. If we put our ratio on Chicago, they'd have 275 aldermen. How are they going to get something done with 275 aldermen? You have too many aldermen. And it's a full-time job. And some of you have daytime jobs and businesses to run. I don't know how you do it. Full job, should be spending 40 hours being an alderman at least. Then you got a family. Can't do it all. Figure out a way. Oh, by the way, it was put in place when this was a bigger town. It made sense at some point. 5 aldermen, non-geographical is all you need. And the next time it comes up, please get some help in explaining what a city manager does. Because when you put it on the ballot last time, people thought you were putting Satan himself in charge. You messed that one up. I'm not saying, Sam, you do a great job, and I'm not saying take anything that you need and want away from you. But a city manager and 5 full-time, properly compensated. Oh my God, some of you make like $10 an hour. I can't hire people for $10 an hour. I'd love to. You want to work for me? I'll pay you 12. Less aggravation. Nah, dealing with me is more aggravation. Figure out a way to put a functioning government in place here. Because some of y'all love this city, that's cool, but love isn't going to get the job done. Ours is going to get the job done. And right now, he's trying so hard to turn the corner and move this thing forward. And y'all know that's what I want too. Can't do it with this government. 5 aldermen. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Domiano. Bobby Garland.
Greetings, Mayor, and to the alderman. I got 2 questions and 1 comment. Has there been any change into the Waukegan Housing Program rehabilitation listing? How they have 2 lists, have a list where they include emergencies and substantial, and there's nothing on there concerning the seniors. None of that. Have they changed that? Because they putting everybody on one list, and then having you on one list 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you don't even go up on the list because you keep getting emergency. Mr. Mayor, have they changed that?
We're in the process right now.
Thank you, sir. Another question I got to ask is, what is the tax rate for the city in real estate? The city, what the city charges in real estate? The percentage. What is it? 8%, 9%, 10%? Because the county just went up 7% and included everybody in, and I wanted to try to find out what the city's is, because within the last 2.5 years, I went up almost $2,000 as a senior citizen. That's what I want to find out. What is the city's percentage? What we have to pay for the city, is it 8%, 9%, 10%? And why has the grid been changed where I live, where they include in houses where I live at and putting the prices on them like I live over by Brookside, and they know I can't get my house sold for no $350,000 or $400,000, but they raised my taxes up and then raised the price up on my home, which they know is not worth that, and it put me in a bind, and I wouldn't have to worry about this rehabilitation if I didn't have to pay everything in taxes. Has there been any discussion about lowering the tax rate in Waukegan on the real estate?
Well, I think that's a longer conversation, and the township assessor really determines that.
He sent me to you. He has nothing to do with the city percent. That's why I'm asking the question about what the city's percentage rate is. What did you charge as a city? Ain't got nothing with county. County just went up 7%.
Yeah, that's.
And they just went up that aboard. Like I said, in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, I done went up almost $2,000. I'm a senior citizen, retired, fixed income, and you know, when you talk about going up $2,000 within not even 3 years, somebody got to give an explanation somewhere.
I agree.
You know, that's why I'm asking, what is the tax rate for the city? Can that be answered?
Well, not at this meeting we can, but why don't you do this, Bob? Why don't you come into the office and I can go over that and break that down.
That's why I'm trying to ask questions, because that should be publicly able to get that kind of answer through the Freedom of Information Act. Is that correct?
Well, it's technically on your assessment tax bill. It's on there. But why don't you come in and I'll have Don or Juan kind of go over what our portion is of that assessment, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll leave you with this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Clyde McLemore.
You're welcome.
Clyde
Bob.
McLemore, Executive Director for Black Lives Matter. This is August. August is the Celebrate Your Black Business. And this Saturday, we'll be putting on our 4th Black Business Expo, and it will be held at Bertrand Bowling Alley. We're giving away full backpacks, and we also had a game truck out there and a couple of jumping houses and free bowling. So if you got a chance, come over between 1 and 5 at Bertrand Bowling Alley. Yesterday, I put a live out. You know, sometimes I need to meditate. So I got some information, and I go over to the graveyard. And I sit there, and I want to introduce somebody to y'all. And his name is Green Tavar. I don't know if y'all know who he is. But Green Tavar was born in slavery in Tennessee. He arrived in Lake County in 1880, and he was one of the first Afro-Americans to move to Waukegan after the Civil War. Green married Ferdinand Bell, and they had 4 daughters. The Tavar family served as the founding members of the Trinity Afro-American Church here in Waukegan. You know, he's buried right over there on Sheridan Road. We pass by him all the time. He don't even have a headstone. I go over there, I clean up, you know, garbage or anything. I clean up over there. But my mission, I'm gonna get a headstone over there. Our children don't know this history. It's 5 of them over there. The other one is George Washington Bell. George Washington Bell was born as a slave in Tennessee, worked as a whiskey distiller, captured by the Union Army and joined the section of Company B-40, Colored Infantry, rescued future wife Emily from train, heading south, moved to Waukegan in 1880, worked as a brickmaster. They over there together. Not a headstone on them. This is in Waukegan. We got some history here. We got some history here. It's 3 more over there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll
Reverend Barbara Brown, please.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Pastor.
councilwomen and men and audience participants. I am here tonight to give honor where honor is due. I'm just glad to be here and celebrate with you on your 100th day, Mayor. Congratulations.
Oh, thank
The
you.
Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. And I think God would say on this 100th day, well done, good and faithful servant. So on this particular day, I want to honor our alderman, Dr. Sylvia Bolton. Is it okay if she joins me over here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And while she joined me, I'll read. Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church wishes to recognize you for your exemplary service and your dedication to the city of Waukegan and to the children and families in the First Ward. Dr. Silver Bolton, thank you for your support for the Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church. Dr. Bolton assisted us with our quest for our landmark status, and it became reality on June the 5th, 2024, that's an error, when the Waukegan City Council unanimously voted in his favor and giving special honor to you, Alderman Keith Turner, because I think you had a young lady also at that time bidding for it, so thank you. In August 2023, she helped us secure the permit to return the Trinity Communities Cares Fest. In September 2024, she advocated for the street renaming that coincided with our 120th anniversary. She's been a strong supporter of Trinity Scholarship Fund, and she has attended all of our functions. In 2024, she volunteered her time to serve and help with the after-school program. We're now located at the Carmen Buckner Elementary School, and she has shown herself to be a true neighbor and a true friend to Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church. She's a woman after God's own heart and has provided Trinity AME Church with her unwavering support and kindness. So it is with great pride and honor that we give her this certificate and give her her flowers while she still can smell them. So it's our pleasure to honor her in this way. Dr. Sylvia Gold.
Perfect timing, perfect timing. Thank you, Reverend.
May I have just 3 more minutes?
No.
Can I just give this to the
Yes,
mayor?
you can.
Oh,
Yes, you
okay,
can.
Okay.
You can give him the flowers.
I can just give him the flowers? Okay.
Give who?
While I walk his flowers to him, can I read?
Who's that? Yeah, come on. Who's it, for me? For you. Oh, jeez.
They're for you.
Our first year, we gave $2,000. Our second year, we gave $6,000. Our fourth year, we gave $9,000. And you have been with us every step of the way. So not only are you a man after God's own heart, but you have proven yourself to be a dynamic community leader and mayor. So I'm proud of you on this 100th day. May God continue to bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Brown. Mr. Calvin Mathis.
Hello. I know it's been a while since I've been here. I've been out of town between St. Louis and Minnesota. St. Louis, I was caring for an elderly relative who eventually passed. But that's not why I'm here. I'm going to have to run through why I'm really here. On Friday, last Friday, approximately at 1:15 p.m., my alderman, Martinez, inappropriately questioned one of my guests. He's a 72-year-old man. He was going out to his car to get his health assessment form for me to help him, interpret, because we were talking about hypertension, LDL, A1C, and he wasn't very familiar with it, so he ran out to his car. He walks with a waddle, and he was going out there. And I just happened to notice he was in the street talking to my alderman, but, and he got his paper. He came back in. He gave me this paper. He said that alderman said they're having a neighborhood watch right across the street, and also, and so I said, oh, I got to get out there and talk to him because I haven't been to the city council in so long. I need to find out what's going on. And I went out and we had small talk, me and Alderman Martinez, and he talked about the health behavior center, how they're dumping, well, he alleged that they're dumping people into the city. They bring them in here for treatment, and I challenged him, well, bring it up to your teammates, and because that's a serious allegation that you made. That's not the issue. And then when we were departing, you asked whose vehicle that was, when you clearly knew whose vehicle it was. You had just questioned, which I did not know you had questioned him like that until I got back in the house, which I feel was inappropriate because when you asked him who he was, he told you he was my brother-in-law. When you asked me who truck that was, I told you it was a friend because I thought that was an inappropriate question to be asking what my visitors are. And when you did a V-line to come across the street to talk to him, I don't know why you did that because your sister was coming down the other side, on his side of the sidewalk. She could have gotten in the flyer. So that being said, I had to put up a no trespassing sign just for you to get that message across. And someone asked me, have you reached out to him? Yes, I went across the street. I talked to the ward captain. I said, hey, can we 3 of us get together and discuss this situation? Can you contact Alderman so we can discuss this, that he cannot invade my privacy like that? And I'm wondering, when you said that you were in your campaign, when you said you was going to take care of the Mexicans, I'm wondering what that meant now. Because if you're questioning who's in somebody's house and do they live there, because that was the question you're asking, does he live there? It's none of your business if he lives there. That's my company. And you don't need to ask him his name and all that stuff. You don't have to investigate him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Calvin
And
Mathis.
I'll get a lawyer and we'll figure it out.
Thank you. Mr. Joe Kopsick, please.
Hi, I hope you will all find the following suggestions constructive. First off, several months ago, Alderman Martinez reminded Waukegan residents to empty out our bags of recyclable goods directly into the recycling receptacles instead of placing sealed bags of recyclables into the bins. I'm happy to comply with this request. In fact, this advice saves us all money on trash bags. But I do have one concern. If the receptacle tips over on a windy day, then the recyclables are more likely to fall out and blow all over the place if they are not bagged than if they are bagged. So I'd like to ask, the next time you have a chance to renew the contract with the company providing the recycling receptacles, that you please ask that contractor to provide residents with receptacles that don't lock but can securely snap closed but can still fling open easily when the receptacle is flipped upside down. This will help keep the areas around the trash bins clean while getting the recycling taken out efficiently and with minimal waste. Second, drivers heading north on Green Bay Road and turning right onto Washington Street are not sufficiently informed that they will have to make 2 complete stops before turning. This intersection is monitored by camera and people are being ticketed for failing to stop twice. So if the city is going to profit off people who fail to stop, and if people are going to be honked at by drivers who don't know what the rule is at that intersection, then the city should install signage which is sufficient to get the point across that drivers need to stop twice. Therefore, I propose installing at the southeast corner of Green Bay and Washington either an additional stop sign, a second white stop line painted onto the street, or a sign which reads "inch out and stop again before turning," or all of the above. Third, some of these meetings last way too long. No sane person wants to still be in a government building at 10 p.m., including, I think, you yourselves. I hope that any and all aldermen who agree with me on this will propose an amendment to the City Council's bylaws, which would shorten meetings from 3 hours to 1.5 hours, or to 2 hours by meeting 2 or 3 times a month, 3 or 4 instead of 2, or making a rule to dismiss at 9:30 p.m. automatically. Fourth point, several months ago, there was some concern expressed regarding the duration of aldermen's speaking time. Therefore, I ask whomever is interested to propose a 3-minute limit upon the total duration of each alderman's general comments, which, unless I'm mistaken, are currently unlimited. This proposal would afford each resident and each alderman the same amount of speaking time. Fifth and last, it has been more than 4 months since a video from the regular meetings of the Waukegan City Council has been posted to the Waukegan TV channel on YouTube. Please ask someone to update your channel. The public needs to see what's happening here from home so they don't have to endure these long meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next group will be Mr. Rayon Edwards, Brother Blanks, Margaret Carrasco, Esther Herron, and Mr. Aaron Riley, and Senator Adrian Johnson. Mr. Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, community, council, mayor, Pastor Brown, Senator Johnson. Southside Reunion is August the 31st. Probably one of the biggest events you will see in Waukegan that is organized by one person. I do it all by myself, and I get the job done. Mayor, I'm grateful for the rebuild of Waukegan, extremely grateful of it. And I'm grateful for your comments tonight when you said there's going to be disagreement. So I want to remind all of you adults here that sometimes when there is disagreement, you can't be frustrated, and you can't be angry because we decide to express our disagreement openly. I get crucified for that a lot when I come up here to speak, and that's not fair. What that gentleman said tonight about us only having 3 minutes, you guys should only have 3 minutes. You guys are the leaders. You have access to department heads. You can come in and out of the city. You can call and get an answer before we can. You guys are also paid. We are not. This is the only time we get to really converse with our leaders. But I want to talk about a couple of things tonight real quick before my time run out. The last parade we had in this community last year, there was a lot of fighting about having several parades. I've been looking at the routes, and one of them is going past Jackson Street, where that fire department is responsible for most of the First Ward. So I'm asking myself, if something happened to my peoples on the First Ward and the parade is going down Jackson, how do the fire department get to them? I got elders down there. We're talking about rebuilding. One of the things about urban development, when I go in Libertyville, there ain't 151 liquor licensing. There's not 75 facilities with slot machines. Pads is not there. Planned Parenthood is not there. Homeless is not big there. But I'm going to talk about rebuilding because it's a black man, businessman, and I've spoken to you about this privately, and I'm going to keep on talking about it publicly. He's a black towing man. He was partnered with a Latino towing company. Most of his business is gone. He supported community events in this community. Right, Black Lives Matter? Right, Ms. Carrasco? Because he supported y'all, and I don't see nobody speaking on his behalf. And it's not okay because he was the only towing company that partnered with the Latino community to share business. We can't rebuild like that when we are small and black folk. We matter in this community. And I need to remind y'all that we matter more than you know. And when we're talking about rebuild, please let's start on the First Ward because there's nothing there.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Brother Blanks.
Brother Blanks, founder and chief president of Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. Today I just want to come here and I want to extend appreciation to all the city officials and the citizens of our community who came out in support of our very first international Taste of Africa and helped make it the success that it was, particularly to our First Ward Alderwoman Sylvia Bolden. I thank you for coming out, our mayor of our city, Mayor Cunningham, for coming out, and definitely our Waukegan Fire Department came out and got really involved. They came out and they danced and had a good time, so big ups to the fire department if any of the fire department members are here, and I extend our appreciation to our state senator who is seated here as well, Adrian Johnson, for coming out, as well as Pastor Barbara for coming out and taking part in our event. So it was really good. We're looking at keeping it going. So it was a lot of good food that was represented there, from South Africa to Liberia, Zambia, Nigeria, Senegal. So these were some of the foods and the presentations, and the African dance that was celebrated there was a real good affair, but most importantly, it was peaceful, and the perspective that our First Ward oftentimes gets a bad rap. And when we are able to come together in the name of peace and prevention over violence and have and sharing some good African cuisine and fun, it puts not only a good light on the First Ward, but it also shares a good light on the potentials of this city. So once again, I thank you all that was involved and that came out to share. And I question the qualification of Joe Kennedy to have another contract in this city. That's me talking. When I look at McAllister Avenue, that's all I'm going to say on that for now. And last but not least, I always like to leave in this month of August and say, long live the spirit of Baba Arthur Brumfield. Thank you all for your time and your attention.
Thank you, sir. Margaret Carrasco.
Good evening. Tonight my word is going to be in regards to agenda number 7 of liquor licenses. The one in Class K, 34 North Sheridan Road, for those persons not familiar with that, that is CLC Student Center. Okay? The rooftop, I believe, the student center, what they're talking about, the community room. This site got $48 million of grant monies for the purpose, they stated, to serve the needs of the community. A community hub to offer events to the entire community. We've been back and forth for over a year with Mr. Jesus Reese, who's in charge of that site at CLC Lakeshore Campus. The reality is it's a farce. It operates as a private party site only for certain individuals, okay? It's not serving the entire community, and this is wrong. Number two, next, under liquor licenses, and I believe that this particular site, 9th Ward Alderman Tom Hayes, it's in your district, so you should, I'm sure you're aware of it. And I believe that the individuals involved are friends of 7th Ward Alderman Lynn Florian, who I'm sure is also involved with it. It happened under the watch of former Mayor Ann Taylor. Therefore, I want to bring it to the attention of our new licensing staff. This site operates with no business license. This site operates with no liquor license. This site has been cited by the Illinois Liquor Enforcement 2 times for violating, selling, operating as a bar with no license. And the evidence, everything was presented to the mayor, to the staff here. I'm sure as alderman, you're aware of it, and allowed to continue on. This needs to stop. It's not fair. It's not fair to all the businesses, bars that are paying their liquor licensing fees, their sales tax dollars, and meanwhile we have, because the individual was connected to the former mayor, allowed to do whatever they want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margaret. Esther Herron.
You never mentioned the location.
I'll be sending out the evidence tomorrow.
Go right ahead.
Afternoon. Good afternoon. Most of us, we know that September is the Latino culture celebration, but also the Mexican independence, that is in September 16. But sometimes they call Fiestas Patrias, and I don't understand why, because any country has a patriotic love. They're supposed to call Mexican Fiestas Patrias, because for me it doesn't mean anything because I am no Mexican. When Mrs. Carrasco was inviting for the greatest parade and the whole time in Waukegan for the independence of Mexico, I think that she's calling, we will be the target of Immigration Department and USCIS. They will come and will take evenly documented and undocumented residents and 2 or 3 citizens. I don't understand why, because we are in a difficult time now. Even I don't go to the parade because I don't know why Waukegan allows a violent behavior that I was searching and it doesn't happen in other cities. When I am in the parades, a guy comes with the black powder, put it in my face, in my body, and sometimes they come in a group, and I hate it. And I know if a guy touch me and do this, I will do the same without powder. And because I don't want problem with the police, I prefer not to go to the parade. Also, I would like to suggest that if you have a parade, Mexican parade, Mexico has 31 states. It would be great to have one couple for every state with their clothes and music and everything representing the whole culture, Mexican culture. Well, I would like to tell also that when Mrs. Carrasco comes and talks to us, sometimes she raises her voice so much that her message is not well properly delivered. I think that she's supposed to lower the voice because in any speech there is like a attention getter. And I don't know if she wants to be her voice herself or the message to be the attention getter. We are Latino people, and as a Latino, doesn't matter documented or undocumented, we need to show respect, we need to show manners, especially in this country where there is so much racism and discrimination. Well, this is what I wanted to say, and I think with this greatest parade, Waukegan will be the target for USCIS, and people will be more scared and won't come. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Aaron Wiley.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaron Riley. I'm a resident of Waukegan. I live on North Bonnybrook, behind the golf course, corner lot there. I love my neighborhood. I love Waukegan. I take a great deal of pride in my home. And on July 7th, there was a torrential rain. And I guess the Public Works Department was doing a flush or something in the streets. And for the first time since I've been there, I had a backup. Didn't know what to do about it. Kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I just totally remodeled my basement. And so as I fought that day to fight back the water, not knowing what was going on, the rains kept coming and it got worse. I finally got a plumbing company to come out, Roto-Rooter, and after an hour or so of trying to solve the situation, he like, have you tried calling the Public Works Department? I'm like, but it's the middle of the night now, they're not gonna. And much to my surprise, within 15 minutes of that call, our Public Works Department was out in front of my house, did whatever they did, all the water went down. The guys were amazing. They saved my house. And the days following, they stayed out till 2:30 in the morning working on this. They got there quicker than an ambulance. It's crazy. I did talk to someone from the Public Works Department, David, great guy. He came to my house the next day, and you know, he gave me some suggestions on backflow prevention valves I could put in to make sure that water can go out, not come in, and some great tips, and he cared, and it's crazy. He told me how I could talk to the village and maybe get some help through the, I forgot the name of the department, but anyway, so I tried the site and tried to work it, and I was unable to get through. So I eventually came down to City Hall, and they referred me to Alonzo. And I knew I had to file online. I had some difficulty with it, only to find out that risk management is what it's called. The person in risk management had vacated the situation. Called my alderman within no time. He jumped right on it. He got me in touch with Alonzo, and these two gentlemen have been working with me to resolve this issue. And I just wanted to come out today to say thank you to these gentlemen for their quick response and for caring, and for the Public Works Department being on top of everything and saving my house. But not only that, but for the personal attention they gave me in trying to address this problem that I have and some of the preventive measures I can take. And I just want to come out and say thank you to those guys.
Thank you, sir. Senator Adrian Johnson. Senator Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Adrian Johnson, State Senator of the 30th Legislative District. Waukegan is in my district. I want to say hello to Mayor Sam Rockingham, the City Council. Congratulations, Mayor, on the first 100 days of your service, and to the City Council, all the great work you do. We can see from all of the people who are speaking, I'm just really proud to serve. This is the way government is supposed to work. Coming up and expressing yourselves. And I want to commend Waukegan for allowing residents to express themselves. This is really important, especially this morning. I did a refresher on the Open Meetings Act, so this is just perfect timing. But actually, I'm glad to be here as your state senator. It was a lot of great celebrations, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of the celebration, and congratulations to Pastor Barbara Brown, Brother Blanks, and just so many more. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Johnson. So glad to be here. So I just want to mention a couple of things as far as what we do, what I do, and my team for you on your behalf. We just recently passed several key legislative measures. The governor has signed all of my bills except one, but we'll talk about that another time. But I just want to amplify the one for the 211 line improvement. 211 is a health and human services line. It's free 24/7, 365. You can call if you have any needs, particularly around maybe utilities assistance, housing assistance, if you have any needs of rental assistance, or if you're having some problems with just your, I don't know, it could be any mental health challenges. We have a 988 line as well. But that legislation made sure that we're following national best practices and standards to ensure that we are aware that there are real people on the line who need real help and they need it timely. So I'm really glad to advance that legislation, work with Representative Dan Dittich, and it passed and the governor signed it. And that's just one of a few legislative measures we passed, in addition to funding that we make available to organizations. So I'm glad to hear about the Dunes project, and I'm glad someone mentioned that your state legislator is here, because it's really helpful if you reach out to us and ask us for a letter of support. It's a great project, and we support projects where you're making sure it's accessible to all residents, particularly those with different abilities. So that's great to hear. And then finally, we have a workshop coming up with Representative Mayfield and the Greater Waukegan Development Coalition. It is Business 101 Boot Camp, and we do that to help local businesses, those who want to start a business, continue to not only survive, but to thrive. And we want to be, Mayor, a part of your Rebuild Waukegan efforts.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
If you, Senator,
Thank
if you make sure we get that to Yoselin or David, we can have it play out throughout City Hall all the time and on our website. So make sure we get it to Austin or Yoselin back there, and we'll get that done for you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your leadership and your support in Springfield.
That concludes the audience time, sir.
All right. All right, item number 4, consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be approved and by one motion. If any one board member wishes to have a separate vote on any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted separately. Is there anything want to be?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start with Alderman Guzman, then down to Alderman Turner. Alderman Guzman.
P.
You said P?
Yes, sir. P as in Paul.
Alderman Turner.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Items F and G, please.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to read the items, then call for the motion, correct? All right, the items are going to be read. 4A. Motion to approve regular meeting minutes from Monday, August 4th, 2025. 4B, motion to approve the closed executive session meeting minutes from regular city council meeting on Monday, August 4th, 2025. Motion to approve and ratify regular payroll dated August 8th, 2025, in a total amount of $2,136,714.36. Motion 4D, to approve and ratify miscellaneous payroll, PD, HBB, and CT, cash out, EO, and CS, retro and final payout dated August 8th, 2025, in a total amount of $50,858.31. 4E, motion to approve vendor payments dated August 18th, 2025, in a total amount of $1,338,858.06. Item 4H, resolution approving a settlement and release of all claims for Police Department Workers' Compensation Claim Number 24WC 2146 240718W017 for the amount not to exceed $47,066.40. Item 4I, resolution approving a settlement of release of all claims to the Police Department Workers' Compensation Claim Number 24WC029339 and 241008W001, settlement amount not to exceed $89,676.13. Item 4J, resolution approving a settlement and release of all claims for Public Works Workers' Compensation Claim Number 25WC01193 and 25011-3W006, settlement amount not to exceed $16,858.80. 4K, resolution authorizing approving execution of release and settlement agreement by and between the City of Waukegan, David M. Mahoney, and Casey Bostic, settlement amount not to exceed $350,000. 4L, resolution approving award of fiscal 2026 road program to Peter Baker and Son for amount not to exceed $5,687,601.40. 4M, resolution approving the purchase and installation of grinder system for lift station 1 and 5 from Mississippi Valley Pump for an amount not to exceed $192,300 per section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 7, good faith waiver. 4N, resolution approving reclassification of funds for the Persian Road Culvert Design Engineer in amount not to, an amount of $185,249.47. A resolution approving the purchase of 2 message boards from High Star Traffic for an amount not to exceed $33,940. Resolution 4Q, resolution approving the purchase of Ford F600 truck with snow package from Coons Auto Group for an amount not to exceed $133,165.70 per section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 7. 4R, resolution approving the cleaning of offshore intake from Lindo Marine Contractors, Inc. for amount not to exceed $47,750, section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 7, good faith waiver. 4S, resolution approving the purchase of a 2026 Mack granite dump truck from CIT Trucks for an amount not to exceed $187,833 per section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 3, joint purchasing through Sourcewell. 4T, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement for sewer between the City of Waukegan, County of Lake. There's a motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Guzman. Any other questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth. Huh?
Come back.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. Item 4F, ordinance approving a variance for an accessory structure setback at 705 Chestnut Street, zoning calendar 2786. There is I need a motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Bolton. And there's a question, Alderman Turner.
Yes, sir, I'd like to hold this one over. This is in my ward. I have not, was not made aware of this, haven't had an opportunity to speak with any of the neighbors or look at the property or anything. I have no awareness of it, so I'd like to hold it over.
About it 2 weeks ago.
I haven't had an opportunity to talk with any of the neighbors. I'd like to hold it over, please.
Okay. The matter 4F has been held over to the next council meeting. Item ordinance approving a conditional use permit for motor vehicle repair and service with a variance to operate on a lot smaller than 15,000 at 840 Grand Avenue, zoning calendar 2787. There is a motion on the floor. Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Guzman. Alderman Turner, do you have a question to the motion?
Yes, sir. This is in my ward, and is the applicant here? Yes, yes, sir.
Stay right there.
Well, it doesn't matter. What kind of auto repairs are you going to be doing over there? No paint? No high-performance race cars?
Thank you.
I'm
Hi,
sorry.
everybody.
Yeah, no high-performance race cars or anything like that? No painting?
No paint,
No
no, I know.
chemicals?
No, just general repair.
Okay. And what's your name, sir?
My name is Ramzi.
Ramzi?
I am from Glenview. I am the owner of the BP Grandin Jackson,
Yeah.
Belvedere, and Green Bay.
Okay. When are you going to be there? You be there tomorrow?
Yeah?
You be at the BP tomorrow? I'll come by and talk to you in the morning. Thank you. That's it for questions, sir.
Okay.
Request a motion, request a vote.
There's a motion and a second on the floor. There being no more questions, roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth. Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Motion passed and carried. Resolution approving a professional service agreement with Water Treatment Specialist LLC per section 2-458, parentheses I, parentheses 4, professional service for an amount not to exceed $88,400. There's a motion on the floor with Alderman Turner, second with Alderman Guzman. And Alderman Guzman, you have a question.
Actually, I'd like to request to hold this over due to the fact I was looking over the contract and numbers, and the contractor is asking for a 2-week vacation. So basically, if we work out the numbers at 16 hours a week, what he worked last week, we're actually paying this gentleman $3,200 a week to go wherever he wants. And I find this unacceptable, so I'd like to hold this over to renegotiate this.
Okay, all right, Alderman, we'll get this. Item 4P is being held over. Alderman Guzman. All right. There have been no further items in consent agenda. Items 5, reports and communications, there being none. Item 6, old business, there being none. Item 7, ordinance adopting an amendment to the annual budget and supplemental appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2025. Motion by Alderman Newsom.
I'll
Second.
move that forward. Or second.
Okay. A second by Alderman Guzman. The questions to the motion?
Yes, sir.
Alderman,
How much?
hold on. Okay, there's a
Amendment.
question, there's two questions. I got a question by Alderman Florian and then by Alderman Turner. Alderman Florian?
Yes, sir. I don't really have a question. I'd just like to make a couple of comments. I made these during the committee meeting earlier. This money is coming from the cannabis funds. That law was passed to try to address the racial inequities that occurred in drug enforcement policies throughout the United States. And I just don't see the connection between using specifically those funds for this program. I'm also concerned because we have such large settlements we're facing for wrongful conviction, and I just feel like we need to watch every penny right now. And I feel if we're going to be faced with bonding out money to pay out those settlements, we shouldn't be tying up money like this in today's world, with what we're facing, and having to potentially borrow this money to cover the settlements going forward. So I want to explain why I'm against this particular proposal. I'm not against what CBDG does. I know what the work they do does for our community, but I just have a problem with using these specific funds for this purpose.
Okay, I'm going to go Alderman Turner. I'm going to ask your question. It's 400,000.
Thank you.
And then Alderman Hayes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Director Garland, I didn't have a chance during the committee meeting. I just had a couple of questions. Is it okay if we take it up now?
Sure. Larissa?
Okay, I think Ms. Jackson gave us a pretty comprehensive presentation last time. I want to make sure I'm clear on the head count that we're proposing to add if this money is allocated.
Okay.
I believe it was hiring someone new and then increasing two part-time people to full-time, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
2 part-time people to full-time.
Okay. And we're taking them from 30 hours to 40 hours?
No, we're taking them from 29 hours a week to
29.
40 hours a week.
All right. And then with that comes benefits and...
No benefits, because they're still going to be operating through the temp agency that we're using for them. That's who they're under, express employment. So that's who they're under. They'll just go full-time under them. So benefits and all that kind of stuff would come from them.
Okay, from the...
We wouldn't have to pay benefits.
Okay, all right, that's good. So that's 2. And then what's the other personnel add that we're going to make?
So it's rehab coordinator, and then it's office supervisor, who does all the verification of applications and paperwork and all that kind of stuff that we get in.
All right. How are we going to pay for these people next year if we're allocating the funds this year?
That would be difficult.
Yeah.
We would be able to keep them again. They would drop back down to part-time if we weren't able to get these funds. In addition, if we're able to get HUD funds for that matter, because we may not, all of us may not have a job. But as for, I just don't, they would have to go back to part-time. If we received our regular CDBG, then they would have to go back to part-time hours to be able to cover them if we didn't have the funding.
I think my concern is this. Like Alderwoman Florian said, I'm in favor of what your department does, and I'm on board. But if the city has never done this before, allocating $400,000 to your department, we're being asked to do it because the federal government didn't step up and allocate the funds that it typically does.
Yes.
And if we do it one time, then I have a feeling we're going to be asked to do it again in the future, because we're going to make the hires and build out that infrastructure, and then the city might be on the hook for maybe it's not 400,000, maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But the other problem that I have with this is if the 400,000 was going to all rehabs, that would be one thing. It seems to me if there's a $50,000 limit and not everyone requires the full $50,000, we could tick through this list of people, this waiting list. I'm not entirely sure I'd still be 100% on board, but that's an easier pill to swallow the way I see it. But if we're going to take some of this $400,000 and allocate it to hiring, that's where I kind of have an issue, because it feels short-sighted in that we don't have a plan necessarily for next year. So out of respect for your department, I want to explain why I'm a no on it. But also, I think it's something that we have to think about going forward, is how are we going to pay for the personnel additions within the department? If all the money was going to helping people in the community, that is I think better. I'm going to get in trouble for what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. We're not a charity. We have to help people. People definitely need help, and we want to be there for them. But allocating almost $500,000 when we have sidewalks that still need to be rebuilt, we have alleys that are crumbling, we have infrastructure needs, we have other needs throughout the city, it seems like maybe it's not the best use of taxpayer funds.
But is this not addressing needs throughout the community?
But it's not. It's addressing what were we told last time? 14 people. We were told that it could help 14 people. And
That's just a number that you put a cap on it, because you take the number, you divide it by 50,000, and that's what you say. But like I said, someone may need something that's like the gentleman who came in here. We would be able to help him because his house was flooded. We would be able to help him.
If he income
I
qualified.
just lost my whole thought. But my whole point is, it's still a matter of being able to help community. You're talking about sidewalks. That's something CDBG does. But if this money is taken away, just say that this money is taken away. You mean to tell me you would not want any assistance coming out of this program anymore for people who have issues with their home?
No,
And we've been traditionally doing it since 1974.
but it hasn't been funded by the city.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so that's the rub that I have.
Ever had cannabis money either, that would be an opportunity for have some extra money to be able to do something like this either. So I mean, this is to me, a great opportunity considering the climate that we're in right now to still be able to help our people, because some aldermen have already told people about the program. We're already getting calls. So I know the need is there. I mean, the need is always greater than what we're able to give, of course. But however, 14 is a number, you take it and you divide it, so that's what you say. But no, we may be able to do 50 people. It just depends on what the needs are.
Thank you.
Well, how much of the money is going to go to salaries?
100,000.
Okay, so how does that get divided up between the two part-time employees, the rehab coordinator and the office supervisor?
So I don't.
Well, maybe let's do this. It's not a math test.
Okay.
We'll just disregard it. I'm not.
So approximately, like I said, because right now we would have to pay for them. So approximately almost $80,000 for the rehab coordinator to go full time.
The rehab coordinator makes $80,000 a year.
The rehab coordinator to go full time.
Okay.
No. 80,000 total.
Okay, and then we have an office supervisor that's going to be.
Office supervisor, yeah. And that one, her salary, I've been working the numbers. So her salary, I was thinking we would still take that out of the piece that we do get CDBG out of that. And then
Okay.
and then that would just be cushion. So it'd be about 80,000. I'm saying 100, but it'll be about 80,000 for that.
Okay.
And then the other person, I'm thinking, this is me thinking, I've been working the numbers, and so I'm thinking possibly I would take that salary out of CDBG.
Okay, but money that would otherwise go
Have
toward
more money
rehab.
Alderman.
to be able to push
Yes,
toward
Mayor.
actual.
Can give you answers to all of those questions, and it sounds like you're not comfortable with it, so I'm going to ask you to vote your conscience. But
Well, actually, I wanted to bring this up during committee. I know you're busy. I called and left a voicemail today. I've spoken with Ms. Jackson. It's not like I'm waiting for city council to bring all of this.
Oh, I know. I'm just
It's-
saying we can, go ahead.
You know us, and trust me, we all drone on, and it's frustrating at times. But at the same time, if we're going to allocate $400,000 from cannabis that could be allocated somewhere else, I think people deserve to know where it's going. And if
I
it's
agree.
going to help someone, clean up their basement or put a roof on someone's house, that's one thing. But if it's going to hire or allocate it to at least 4 personnel, I can't get on board with that.
Alderman.
How's that helping
Alderman,
anybody?
Alderman, I understand your position, and I guess you're going to have to vote your conscience as it pertains to this particular subject.
Okay, so are you cutting me off?
No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying, I don't know what else to tell you. We've kind of laid it out there. We've given you exactly what we think is in the best interest, not only for the program, but for the citizens who need this and who've been on the back list. And if this is something I don't think you want to approve, I get it. I understand.
Okay, let me
I
ask
understand your
this question,
concerns.
then I'll be finished.
Sure.
Why do we need to hire or increase this a headcount by 4, or at least alter the headcount by 4 for this work?
We're not altering it by 4.
What, we have 2 part-time employees that are moving to full-time, right? And then you're hiring an office supervisor.
No.
These folks already exist.
These people already exist.
Mayor, thank you. Okay.
No. These
So
people already exist.
It's by 2.
They are, yes, so they would go to full-time. They're currently part-time right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's it. It's
That's
just
it.
the 2 people.
Just the 2 people.
Okay. And they're going to go from 29 hours a week to 40 hours a week?
Yes.
With no increase in benefits?
With no, yes,
With no benefits?
right.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that clarification.
I thought you were fully aware, that's what I was trying to make you aware of, sir. I wasn't trying to cut you off. By no means, okay. Thank you.
Mayor,
Thank you.
If I may.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you. So CDBG is funded through HUD through federal funding,
Yes.
and we're losing federal funding for your program.
Well, we definitely got decreased federal funding. We don't have a grant agreement in hand, so I just don't know what we're going to get or if we're going to get it.
So the bottom line is you want to take local tax dollars, because we're taxing the cannabis folk, right? So you take those tax dollars to shore up a federal program. Okay, thank you.
All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
No.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Motion passed and carried.
7B.
Item 7B, an ordinance increasing the number of Class K catering liquor license by one for College of Lake County, 34 North Sheridan Road. There's a motion by Alderman Dahlman, a second by Alderman Martinez. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton. Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez. Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. Item 7C, ordinance increasing the number of Class F1 packaged beer, wine, and gasoline sales liquor licenses by one for Saran Gas Station LLC, DBA BP 2601 Grand Avenue. There's a motion by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Felix. Any questions to the motion?
Sir?
Alderman Florian.
So, unlike some people I've heard mention that all liquor licenses are the same, there should be no categories, I don't feel that way. This is a gas station. It's 2 blocks either way from other gas stations that do, well, one is a gas station, one is a regular liquor store that do the same kind of sales, walk in, walk out with it. They're not serving alcohol on the premises. I've heard a lot of complaints as an alderman for 6 years, but one thing I've never heard is that we do not have enough liquor licenses in Waukegan. There was a new Gallup poll recently. Gallup is one of the most renowned pollsters in the United States, and they said at this time, 54% of adults report that they consume alcohol on a regular basis. And they're saying this is the lowest percentage they've seen since they began tracking the numbers. And they're attributing this to an increased awareness of the risks of alcohol, shifting social norms. People just don't want to go out and get drunk and rowdy like they used to, I guess. Financial concerns, a lot of people are struggling in this economy and are choosing not to spend their money on alcohol. And there's much more of a focus on wellness. They're saying particularly the millennials are not drinking as much as they used to. So considering we have 2 businesses within 2 blocks either way of this business, I think although we all want business in Waukegan, let's be honest, we want businesses to thrive in our community, I also think we have to eventually be loyal to the businesses we already have. And by setting up competition within 2 blocks, you know, I talked about this when the guy wanted the wine store over by Rody's Liquors. I mean, Rody's Liquors has been around since I was a kid. I went to school with those boys grade school. And putting another liquor store right in their backyard, I just didn't think was fair to them. But anyway, I just felt I needed to say, no, I don't believe every liquor license is the same, and I think there's already plenty of packaged liquor available in these 2 blocks, so.
Yes, ma'am. All Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
No.
Hayes.
No.
Bolton.
No.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Nay.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. And Alderman Florian, I do want to add to your statement about there was rhetoric that Waukegan is the liquor capital of the world. You will be pleasantly surprised to hear that Waukegan is number 4 in the county. Number 1 is Gurnee. I think number 2 was Libertyville. Aurora beat us. Joliet beat the city of Waukegan of the number of issued license. So to suggest that our community is, and I'm going to say this, is a bunch of drunken people.
I never said that, Mayor.
Not you.
I never said that.
I never said you
You're
did.
making it sound like I said that.
Okay, then let me be clear. There was commentary, not from the dais, that this community is a bunch of drunken people. And that is just not true. Facts shows that we are probably so low on the totem pole compared to the population that we have. So I think I respect your decision. I do. I respect the fact of competition. That's legit. But what's not legit is to make a blanket statement that the city of Waukegan is a city where people just get alcohol and do what they want. And I say that because this is a majority community. So when you put that kind of narrative out there, it says that the minorities drink more than anybody else.
Again, I did not say that.
I'm not saying that you did, and I made it very clear. I said there was commentary. Well, I'm not trying to insinuate, Alderman. I'm just saying there was commentary from during the audience time, and it's been repeated. That's just not true. And I think it is our responsibility, as is you did today, to defend why you said no. You said no because you're absolutely right. Rodas, we all know Rodas. But we also have to defend when it's necessary and when people pass judgment on this community unfairly. That's what I'm saying. So thank you for your comment. You have never, I don't think any alderman up here ever said that we're just a bunch of drunken folks who lives in the city of Waukegan. But sometimes we must correct when we hear that, so the perception is not every time that there's something that comes up and there's liquor related that we're adding to this humongous liquor license setting council, and it's just not true. And these are facts, not fiction. Thank you for, if I was rambling, I apologize, but it's the pride thing to me in Waukegan. All right, that being said, item 8, ordinances, there being none. Item 9, closing items, Alderman's time. Madam Clerk.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you. This council is not here to stifle competition or protect one business from competition from another. With anything, we should be encouraging business growth and development. That's a key element of why I chose to run for office and to represent my constituents and generally the city at large. So I am pro-business, and you talk about these liquor licenses. You got to remember, folks, it's a legal product being sold to adults. I don't care if there's a liquor store or bar on every corner. Legal products being sold to adults. I don't have any problem with that. I don't drink. I haven't had a drink since October of 1992. That's 33 years. But if you want to drink, that's your business. You've grown, go do it. All right, so I got something here. You folks have heard me speak numerous times about grass being blown into the streets, and I'd like to make a motion for ordinance or an amendment to existing ordinance, whichever is appropriate, to prohibit the blowing of grass or leaves or any other debris into the street. Motion? Can I get a second?
Let's take the idea, put it in committee to put together a resolution to formulate that, okay? Because it's
Great.
not on the agenda for the night.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's what we're going to do. All right, Alderman?
So just for clarification, my understanding is that we can make a motion here in council. It doesn't have to be on the agenda to make a motion. Can we get clarification, Mike?
If you're looking to make a motion to approve an ordinance change or something of that nature, it needs to be on the agenda so the public is fully aware of what you're doing. You can discuss something that's not on the agenda, but you can't move forward to try to approve something.
The motion is to create the ordinance, create or amend the existing ordinance.
Sure. What that would be is that we can move to committee.
Okay.
And then create discussion.
Great, thank you. All right. Next thing, a couple of things, and this is pertinent to me and my constituents, particularly in the 6th Ward. And it's, I've had some technical difficulties with my Facebook page over the last week. I've resolved that, and I'm back up on Facebook, so you can now continue to send me messages and communicate with me directly through Facebook. I also had challenges with my phone and continue to have those challenges. So I don't have all of my contacts restored. And if you're calling me or sending me text messages, your name may not appear. So if you're communicating with me through text messaging, please say your name also, or if you're leaving a voicemail, say your name and give me an address if you need some particular attention. I hope to have that resolved over time, right? And then lastly, this weekend, Saturday, August 23rd from 1 to 3 p.m., our annual 6th Ward Ice Cream Social be held in my front yard, 1320 North Jackson Street. All are invited. This is a non-political event. All are invited. Thank you. You want brownies? I'm going to write that down. Come on, I'll see you there at 1 o'clock.
Alderman Donaworth.
I'll pass.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to remind everyone, the air show is coming up, September 6th and 7th. They're doing a 2-day show for the first time ever, I believe. The gates are going to open at 9:30 a.m. on those days. Tickets are available online, and when you get to the gate, you can scan a QR code to purchase them, but they will not be doing cash or credit sales at the gates, so plan ahead. I wish Mrs. Carrasco was still here because I know the practice sessions really annoyed her. So I want to remind people the show is the 6th and 7th, but the practice will be on the 5th. So there will be noise, particularly in the 7th and 8th wards, for the practices and the shows, those 3 days basically. So there is a lot of information online about possible places to park and bringing your own chairs and so on. So just be aware the air show is coming in just a couple of weeks. I wanted to comment about what was brought up about alderman time being 3 minutes. I have suggested this before. I think it's something we should consider. We keep our public at 3 minutes. I think we should have 3 minutes. It's only fair. So it's already, I don't know, the clock is gone. It's already 9:14. So I highly support limiting the alderman time to 3 minutes apiece. Thank you.
Alderman Hayes.
Pass.
Alderman Bolton.
Yes, thank you for the community award acknowledgement from the AME congregation, and I have to say I did not earn that certificate or that acknowledgement alone. It took part of historical society, our council, as well as our constituents to make that happen. I can't make this happen on my own. And then I want to also acknowledge the Links organization for the bench dedication on this Friday to Kings Park, which is located on South Avenue. It was a wonderful ribbon cutting. Thank you, Mayor, for cutting that ribbon. And thanks again to the Links for dedicating that bench. And it was a wonderful block party all this weekend. I had 2 or 3 at the same time. Brother Blanks definitely brought in cultural awareness to our community. And then we had free backpacks and barbecue. The other community church house of prayer, giving away free food and school supplies on Helmholtz and McAllister. Then we had birthday parties, and it was just really an eventful weekend. And I also want to thank you, staff, for your hard work, providing reports and doing documents. And then once again, don't forget on the 31st at South Kings Park, there will be a Southside reunion starting at 12 o'clock. And then, as I told Mr. Clyde McElmore, that August 23rd, starting at 1 to 5, the Black Business Expo and Celebration, located at 2616 Washington Street. And thank you again for your constituents always calling me every day and letting me know what's going on. You can locate me on my fixed Alderman page, Alderman Dr. Sylvia Bolton, First Ward, and you also can reach me at 224-607-8445. Thank you.
Alderman Guzman.
Good evening, all. I just want to thank Director Garland for his presentation of streets. Again, I was very impressed. I think it should be on a yearly basis on how that's presented, because I thought that was so professionally done by Director Garland, the whole his staff, and Alonzo on the great job they do. Piggyback on that, I want to say what a great job they did through the storm a couple of days ago. They were out there through the night, clearing streets, helping residents across the city in the second ward. ComEd was also out there doing a great job restoring power, helping people get their branches and trees off the lines, and Public Works helping them out and removing all the debris. They do such an amazing job, amazing. I mean, I'm sorry that we just keep bringing them up, and not that the rest of the city staff doesn't do a great job, because they do a great job moving our city forward. Police, fire, CDBG, licensing, everybody. It's a team effort. They're just more in the front line of everybody, and so I'd like to say thank you once again. In progress, Dugdale Park, they're doing a great job over there, the Park District. It's going to look amazing, the whole parking lot, the islands. I mean, it's going to look really, really nice when they're done with it. So I'd like to say kudos and thank you for the Park District. Hopefully they'll be done really soon. Going on that, I forgot to mention something with Mayor Cunningham had a statement earlier about residents not to move over when they see crews out there. There is a law called Scott's Law, okay, that you can be ticketed for not moving over. And if you hit Public Works or anybody that's working out there, it is a jailable offense and a finable, okay? I want everybody to know. So when you see a crew out there, they're trying to help you out. Police, fire, everybody, they're out there helping you out. Engineers, everybody. So please just do a kind of common courtesy, slow down and just scoot over. How long does it take? Not that long, okay? So remember that, please. So if you hit somebody or something happens, don't say nobody said anything, all because you wanted to whiz on by and take your chances. I want to say, unfortunately, I missed a taste of Africa with being a public servant, not just for the city of Waukegan, also for the state of Illinois. I missed it. I believe food is the culture of the world. That's how we get along. It's a very easy way to break bread with somebody, and their food is the explicit of the world. I wish I would have made it. I've never had true African food. I've had Southern food, but I've never had actual African food. I wish I would have made it. Unfortunately, I did not. Brother Blink said it was a yearly thing, so I'm hoping he does it next year, and I hope to make it. I think it would be a great time to see all that, the dancing and the different experience, and the food especially. I want to fry the food. Washington and Green Bay, there was mention about the stopping twice. I didn't even know that myself. I did get a ticket there. I'm not gonna. I took a picture. I sent my $100. But I'm glad to know that, you have to stop twice, so I will be stopping twice, so there will be no more tickets. Finally, to get in contact with me, 847-390-2690. Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk and the council. Piggyback to what Alderman Guzman was mentioning regarding the storm last Saturday. What remarkable resilience was conducted by our Public Works Department. They were out there fixing roads, trying to prevent floods, so I commend them for that. The third ward on the north side really got hit hard, so over there in Greta and Cornelia. But again, I just want to thank you guys again. Director Garland, and kudos to your staff for all that they've done to try to bring some normalcy back into our ward. And I know you guys were out there today. Again, I thank you for that. And then I also just want to remind my Leith Avenue residents about our first Neighborhood Watch program, which is going to be held this Wednesday. It'll be held at 523 Leith Avenue. It is for 1 hour from 6 to 7. The mayor is going to be there, and also our community liaison, Officer Kristen Luca. And then, so that leads me into what happened today with the gentleman that was up here speaking earlier. First and foremost, I do want to apologize. And then I also want to say that I was taken back with that whole conversation and what he thought curtailed with the whole incident. I don't even call it an incident. The Neighborhood Block Program is something that he also helped me spearhead, and it's right, the meeting is going to be right across the street from his home. Yes, we do have a captain and co-captain that have volunteered their home graciously to open it up. That is Saul Cruz and his wife. But I was also looking for a co-captain. And so because I hadn't seen the gentleman for a long time, yeah, I was concerned, maybe a little bit over anxious, because I was concerned because I hadn't seen him. When I was passing out the flyers, I try to visit as many constituents. They come out, they talk to me. He's just one constituent that we always have a conversation. We always talk about things, how we can better our community and our ward. My concern was because I hadn't seen him, and I wanted to make sure that he was okay. So maybe it was like a well-being check, but yes, I did question the gentleman, but it wasn't. It was more of a concerning because I didn't want to hear something bad. I just wanted to say, hey, you know, is he okay? And that's all I needed. Then he did come out, yeah. And throughout the conversation, we never mentioned anything of how I approached the gentleman, but this whole thing is to me, blown out of proportion, because one thing that I don't do, I don't look for fights, nor do I try to provoke anyone. So if there was something that I said, then I apologize for that. But my intention was to say, hey, look, we finally got a captain for the Neighborhood Watch program. My intention was to say, hey, would you please be the co-captain, or simply to invite him to cross the street to his neighbor's home. It was never to entice. It was never to humiliate him. It was never anything that would bring him today and me having to defend myself. I don't have a record of this kind of behavior. And so therefore, again, I apologize to the gentleman if he mistook it that way, but maybe I was over anxious as a concerned resident and friend, and also an alderman. But again, that was simply just to see how he was doing and let him know, hey, please come Wednesday, you're welcome. I need your feedback. I need your continued support. And unfortunately, it went to the left. And so I apologize for that. That's all I have. If you need to get a hold of me, I can reach that 847-390-2689. I just ask my constituents, please be safe, be mindful, and let's all be good neighbors. Thank you and good night.
Can I say something real quick? I forgot to mention that. Director Garland, your wife, amazing woman. The big heart she has over there. Cannabis is the perfect money to go from something to something great to helping people out. So I'm glad it passed. Thank you very much. And I've spoken to you a bunch of times. You have a huge, huge heart.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you. Just want to remind everyone that this upcoming Wednesday, next Wednesday, at Alani Banquets, we're going to have a downtown Waukegan meeting. Whoever is interested in downtown, have businesses in our downtown, live in the downtown, please come. Invite you guys to come. And if you guys have any ideas, things that you want to talk about that we can discuss, and maybe we can make it into something real, bring your ideas. We're going to have a time where we can discuss these ideas. But first, I'm going to have some of our staff go over what we're doing currently that might even answer some of those questions or concerns that are being had in the downtown area. So the address is at 206 North Genesee Street, Waukegan, Illinois 60085. It's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30. That's going to be next Wednesday, August the 27th, from 5:30 to 7:30. Please invite anyone that you think would be interested in joining. You can always call me or leave a voice message. My phone number is 847-390-2693. I do prefer text messages. That way I can make sure I can answer back and ask, keep that as kind of like a record of who's been contacting me. It does help me out. That way I can write it down somewhere after someone messages me. The reason why I want to do something in the downtown, because the Fourth Ward is a big area. I have a lot of important, it's divided into different important sections. We have the downtown area, we have the Washington corridor, Grand Avenue, we have the major, populated residential areas. There's a lot going on, so, I want to kind of divide, and then at some point soon, then we'll announce our actual ward meeting, which I would love to have it here. Saw that Alderperson Newsom had it here. I think it's a great place to have it, where we can have our residents here focused on where we live, which is in the Fourth Ward. And hopefully we can start making something together where we can have a Team Fourth Ward, just kind of working together. As I know, I met with Jim from Horse Feathers. He came and talked today. He is with respect, he lets me know how things are, on how he feels and views things, and I respect that we can meet up. Although he might not like how I'm addressing a few things, he'll let me know. We can create a plan together and start to address these issues. So I welcome that from anyone that would want to address any issues. My doors are open. We have our own conference room. It's in the back here, so I can also use that. Mayor has always let me use the mayor's office as well. And so please join us. And all their persons, you guys are welcome and invited as well. Do want to just mention, as Senator Johnson, she does a lot for the community, and please join our business, the business boot camp that she's going to have August 21st, this year, 4 to 6 p.m. A lot of people, I do want to say, Public Works, you guys are doing a great job always. But I also want to say our PR team is doing a great job. How do I know that the PR team is doing a great job? You start to see almost the same in other communities doing the same thing. So we're a great example of you know, good ideas that are even the way we do the ribbon cuttings, the way we're promoting ourselves, rebranding ourselves, rebuilding Waukegan, rebranding ourselves. You see it in other communities. I'm starting to notice it, but you know, we are an example. So good job to our Public Works Department, Public Relations Department, PR team. And that's it. Thank you.
Alderman Newsome.
Pass.
Make a
Mayor?
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.